Hidden beneath the dense jungles of Vietnam existed one of the most complex underground systems ever used in warfare. The Viet Cong tunnels were not simply hiding places, but vast networks designed for survival, movement, and combat. To those above ground, the jungle appeared quiet, but beneath the surface, an entirely different war was unfolding, one defined by secrecy, ingenuity, and constant tension. Tunnel entrances were carefully concealed using natural materials, making them almost impossible to detect. Small, hidden openings allowed fighters to disappear into the ground within seconds, leaving no visible trace behind. This ability to vanish so quickly created confusion among opposing forces, who often found themselves facing an enemy that seemed to appear and disappear without warning. The tunnel systems extended for hundreds of kilometers, connecting villages, supply routes, and combat zones. These networks allowed the Viet Cong to move unseen, avoiding detection while maintaining constant pressure on enemy forces. By linking key locations underground, they created a level of mobility and coordination that was extremely difficult to counter using conventional methods. The tunnels were intentionally built narrow and low, making them extremely difficult for larger soldiers to navigate. This design gave the Viet Cong a significant advantage, as they were accustomed to moving quickly through these confined spaces. For anyone unfamiliar with the layout, even basic movement became slow and exhausting, increasing vulnerability in an already dangerous environment. The tunnels were heavily defended with traps, including hidden spikes and other improvised devices. These were designed not only to injure, but to slow down and intimidate anyone attempting to enter. The psychological impact of these traps was as important as their physical effect, creating fear and hesitation in those tasked with exploring the underground network. Ventilation shafts were cleverly disguised, allowing fresh air to circulate without revealing the tunnel's locations. Maintaining airflow was essential for survival in such confined spaces, and these systems demonstrated a high level of planning and engineering. Without proper ventilation, the tunnels would have quickly become uninhabitable. Specialized smokeless stoves allowed food to be prepared underground without revealing positions. Smoke was dispersed through long channels and released far from the actual cooking site, making it difficult to detect from above. This innovation allowed fighters to sustain themselves while remaining hidden, an essential capability in prolonged conflict. The tunnels were not just for combat. They served as living spaces, including sleeping areas, storage rooms, and even meeting areas. Entire communities adapted to life underground, spending extended periods beneath the surface. This transformation of the tunnels into functional living environments highlighted their importance beyond simple military use. Underground medical facilities allowed wounded fighters to be treated without exposure to enemy forces. Despite limited resources, these spaces played a critical role in sustaining the fighting force. Providing care in such conditions required ingenuity and resilience, reflecting the determination to continue operations despite significant challenges. The tunnel system allowed fighters to emerge unexpectedly, launch attacks, and disappear just as quickly. This unpredictability made it extremely difficult for opposing forces to respond effectively, as there was often no clear target to engage. The ability to strike and vanish became a defining feature of the conflict. To counter the tunnels, specially trained soldiers known as tunnel rats were sent underground. These individuals operated in extremely dangerous conditions, navigating narrow passages with limited visibility. Their role required courage and precision, as they faced traps, confined spaces, and the constant threat of sudden encounters. Inside the tunnels, visibility was extremely limited, often reduced to complete darkness. The combination of tight spaces, poor lighting, and constant danger created an environment of intense psychological pressure. Navigating these conditions required focus and composure, as even small mistakes could have serious consequences. Many tunnel systems were constructed with multiple levels, allowing fighters to move deeper underground if necessary. This layered design added complexity and made it even harder to locate and eliminate the network. It also provided additional protection, enabling continued operations even when parts of the system were compromised. Efforts to destroy the tunnels included the use of explosives, flooding, and other methods. However, The resilience of the network and the ability to repair or rebuild sections meant that these efforts were often only partially successful. The tunnels remained a persistent challenge throughout the conflict. The presence of the tunnels created constant uncertainty for soldiers operating above ground. The possibility that enemies could emerge from below at any moment added a psychological dimension to the conflict, increasing stress and affecting decision-making in the field. Weapons, ammunition, and other supplies were stored within the tunnels, ensuring that fighters had access to essential resources without relying on exposed supply lines. This logistical advantage allowed operations to continue even under pressure from opposing forces. The tunnels were a key element of guerrilla warfare, supporting strategies based on mobility, concealment, and surprise. By using the underground network, smaller forces were able to challenge a more technologically advanced opponent effectively, demonstrating the importance of adaptability in warfare. The dense jungle above provided natural cover for tunnel entrances and activities. This environment worked in combination with the underground network to create a highly effective system of concealment. Together, they formed a battlefield that was difficult to control using conventional methods. Multiple exits allowed fighters to escape quickly if a section of the tunnel was discovered. These escape routes ensured that even when parts of the network were compromised, individuals could avoid capture and continue operations elsewhere. The tunnel systems represented a unique form of warfare, combining engineering, strategy, and environmental adaptation. They demonstrated how unconventional methods could be used to counter a more powerful opponent, reshaping the nature of the conflict. Today, parts of these tunnels remain preserved, offering insight into the conditions and ingenuity of those who used them. They serve as a reminder of the challenges faced during the war and the innovative solutions developed in response. The development of the tunnel systems highlighted the importance of innovation and adaptability in conflict. By leveraging their environment and resources, the Viet Cong were able to create a system that played a crucial role in their overall strategy. The Viet Cong tunnels remain one of the most remarkable examples of underground warfare in history. Hidden from view yet central to the conflict, they reveal how battles are not always fought in open spaces, but sometimes in unseen environments where strategy, resilience, and ingenuity determine survival.